Okay, after we install the printhead, we can start to load ink to the ink tank. So we're going to find out the printhead, the ink tank cover at the back side of the machine, and we're going to loosen the screw on the top. There are 6 screws. Okay, after we loosen the screw, we can take out the cover, and we can see the old ink tank here. When we open the cover, we can see there are totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8 ink tank, and each ink tank have the color label like cyan, magenta, and white varnish for 3, and also yellow and cyan and black, and also light magenta. So we find out the label, and we can see the label, the color label for each ink tank. So first, then we're going to load ink to the ink tank. So first, we find out the ink tank, the ink that go with delivery. So every ink we must checking about 2 minutes before we load ink, especially for the white ink. And also, before you load ink, you must be sure the ink is hot UV or soft UV. We cannot use for one color for one. Some color is soft UV and some color is hot UV. It's not working. So we're checking the ink before we fill the ink. And for white ink, this is the white ink, after we checking, it's not enough. We still need to load it, because the ink during delivery is for a long time, for more than 10 days, 20 days. So the white ink is settling. So of course, the top is light, the bottom is heavy, so it's not equal. So checking, make it equal, and also we open it, and we find out the tissue, but not paper, not handkerchief, but the fabric that go with the machine delivery. We find out fabric to find out the long screwdriver, and we clean it. Make it no dust. It's clean. You can clean it by the alcohol. After cleaning, we checking. We put screwdriver inside of the bottle, and then we checking load it by the clockwise or unclockwise direction, and check, and also load, to be sure the white ink on the bottom is not settling, but equal for each. By checking by this. So each bottle of white ink we must do by this way. And for the color ink, we don't need to checking. We not to put the screwdriver inside. We just checking. That's enough. But for white ink, each new bottle we must do like this. So after we check and load, we take our screwdriver and we clean it. Then we fill the white ink to the ink tank. We find out the white here is the white mark. And also here have the tape So the ink tube cannot put too much to the bottom. Be sure the position with tape here is connect with the cover. So we're gonna open the cover, and we put some paper to be sure the ink will not spread out. Like this way, and we already fill the ink, white ink. We not need to pour too much. About 2/3 for the total volume is enough. Even also for the bottle, if you are long time not use the machine, you still need to use the screwdriver to clean it and to check on the bottom to be sure the ink will not settling inside of the bottle, especially for the white ink. So after that, we close the ink cover. But not too tighten. We just load and loosen a little bit to be sure the air can go inside of the tank to make the ink supply to the ink tank and the ink damper. If you we faster it, so the ink cannot go to the print head. So this is very important. Open the ink cover for each ink tank after we fill ink. So then we fill the ink by the same way to magenta, yellow, black, cyan, magenta, and varnish. And this is also varnish. This is the varnish. The varnish have three tubes. The white ink also 3 tubes for 1 ink tank. Another color is 1 ink tube for 1 tank. So after we load ink, and every ink is loaded, and also the ink tube is not bent. Be sure the ink tube not bent like this. If bent like this, it's damaged, and the ink cannot go through. So check each ink tube carefully, and all the ink tubes are connected to the bottom already, not pour out. Otherwise, the air go inside. It will cause the print job ink. So be sure everything is okay. Then we put back the cover to the machine to protect the dust or waste the dust or some to also the mouse. You loosen back the screw for each. So after we install the cover, then we still maybe have a half or some waste, some balance ink we need to use for next time. So we need to close the cover and checking and put the ink without sunshine, without any strong light, and also without any high temperature earlier. We put the good environment with good temperature about 18 to 22 degrees, and also the humidity about 70%, and without strong sunshine. Then also we need to checking for every week, even we not use it, and also we opposite to load it. Okay, so after we install printhead, now and also we load ink to the ink tank. Now we can start to load ink from the ink damper, because now the ink tuber and ink damper printhead all are empty without any ink. So the first time we load ink to damper, we need to find out the brand new injection. And we find out the glove. So must be is very younger. It's very young. It's a young man, and I'm still don't have girlfriend. So I need to protect my finger wear. Otherwise, I cannot find out my girlfriend. So protect your finger good. If you want to be, must be friend, girlfriend, please call me. Okay, now it's 18 years older. Okay, we find out the brand new injection. And please remember, one injection used for one ink damper for one color. Sorry, the glove is a little bit big. My finger is too small. Huh? Okay, we take out and check it's clean without any dust. It's clean and it's fastened. So we're going to load damper by injection one by one. So the ink flow for the white, we can see the mark is white, is white, white, white. Varnish, varnish, varnish. Or if you don't want to put white, put a varnish ink, so the ink flow will be white, 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 white. 6 all are white. So in one word, 6 all are white ink, or 1, 2, 3 is white. 4, 5, 6 is for varnish. So for this demo, we put varnish, varnish for next 3. And here is for K. First one is black. Then second one is cyan. And number 3 is magenta. And number 4 is yellow. And number 5 is light cyan. The last one is light magenta. So this is ink flow. So for example, right now we load the first time we load light magenta. So we take out damper and we connect. First, so not very important. We take out the damper or put or take out or install damper. We must hold the damper by this way. By this way. Okay. So if we hold the damper by this way, the ink will flush out to damage printhead, or the ink spray to the printhead cable to get printhead problem, or spray to the machine, get the machine dirty. So please remember, we must hold the damper by this way, but not by this way. By the left and the right side, but not by the if by this way, it's hold the damper by front and back, but not by the side way. So we load damper and we connect the injection, and we start to load the ink. The first time we need to pour the air out and pour the ink about 3 to 5 milliliter for each color, for each damper. And be sure there's no bubbles coming out. If you have bubbles coming out, that means the ink supply system have air inside, so we cannot get a good nozzle check. So after that,这东西露出来了。暂停了吧？ Ready? After we load the ink, then we install the ink damper to the print head and fasten wear without shaking or loosen. Fast enough. And also for safety, before we install print head, before we load ink and install damper, we find the paper and we close it, we fold it, and we put it on the both side of the print head cable position to be sure the ink will, even any mistake, the ink will not spread out to the print head cable position. It's for safety. For each cable, we do the protect. This is just for backup. The ink will not spread out to the print head port. So even the ink spread out, it will be protected by the paper. Like this. And also all the cable, we must be sure it's not tightened. We have enough space. Otherwise, when we're printing, the cable will move. The cable will make it faster. So be sure the cable, all 4 cables, 1, 2, 3, 4 cables have enough space. Not tighten the print head. Have enough space for each cable. And then we load the ink, find another injection to load the ink from the ink tank to damper by same way. Another color, use another new injection. And the waste the ink we poured out first time from stay at the injection, we need to throw away. We cannot use again because it have some dust or some other things stay at the ink tube or the ink tank, so we must throw away the first time. So this is the procedure to load ink to the ink damper from the ink tank.